So here we are in the Celtic Rainforest, and I'd like to show you some of the things that help us to identify it as a Celtic rainforest. So here we have some big branches are down on the ground, and they've got moss on them, different types of lichens. Behind me we've got various different plants forming a carpet across the floor of the woodland. A bit further back we've got some bilberry and we've got some heather growing there. They're the slightly higher plants that we can see. We've got some oak trees and we've got some birch trees growing, and they're a mixture of ages. And also in the background there we can see we've got these big boulders and rocks. We've got a nice carpet of mosses all over those. So they're just some of the features that we use to help us identify this as a Celtic rainforest. So here we are in the rainforest and just having a bit of a closer look at those plants that are growing here. And we can see just over there there's a plant that's got green stems, and that's called bilberry, and that has these really beautiful tasting fruits that you can eat in the late summer, early autumn. The other thing with the nice fruit is these brambles here, and they have blackberries on them, which again are really nice and tasty and juicy. And then we have this fern. So different types of fern grow in the Celtic rainforest, and of course all of this with this backdrop of beautiful different types of mosses forming a carpet over the rocks. You may also notice behind me this rock here has got lots of different types of lichens on it, mainly the kind of paint-like lichens, and all of these different things grow in different places depending how much moisture there is and how much light there is. And that's really important when we're looking after the Celtic rainforest, that we let light in to enable these plants to be able to grow. So I'm delighted to find this. Autumn is the best time of year to go looking for fungi in the woodland, but we do have some types that we can see outside of that window. So here in the winter we have actually got some what are called bracket fungi that are still visible on the trees. Now although this one is called birch polypore, and the clue is because it's growing on a birch tree. And some of you might ask, well, how do I know it's a birch tree when there's no leaves? Well, we can look at the bark, and birch has got this distinctive kind of bark with these smooth sections, and then interspersed, especially low down on the tree, with these kind of rough areas of bark. So that, combined with looking at things like the branches and things, and the size and the shape of it, helps us to know this is a birch tree. So lovely to see this birch polypore growing on this birch tree. But also, while I'm here, it's quite nice seeing some lichens and some moss, and there's a slug, which I don't know if you've seen, has just been working its way down through the moss and through the lichen there, heading towards that fungi. Beautiful, isn't it? So I've come across a hazel tree here. The hazel, as you can see, is quite a small tree, and you can see that it's got lots of these branches all growing up from the base. So that's its natural way of growing, and traditionally it's been managed through a process called coppicing, which is tapped into that natural way of wanting to grow extra branches from the base. So what they would do is they cut it low down, and that would encourage more new branches to grow up and grow straight, and then they can harvest that in turn to make things like fences by weaving them in between the uprights, and that's how they might be able to control the cattle or other animals. So you can see there's one important tree within the constituent types of trees that we get in the rainforest. Another one is this holly that I've got just here, and the holly, that's one important species, but we do have to be careful that it doesn't dominate. So in some places through the project we're grazing cattle and ponies to help control species like this so that they don't take over, because we need to maintain that woodland structure that allows light to come down to the forest floor to allow the plants to grow, and also for some new young trees to be able to grow. So here we are, another couple of important features in our Celtic rainforest. In this little section of the Celtic Rainforest, I found these young trees just starting to grow, and they're taking advantage of this gap in the canopy that's formed, that's letting the light down and allowing them to start to grow. So this one here in front of me, I've got an oak tree, and I can tell that from this distinctive little brown bud and how they've structured along the branch there. And that's one of 3 types that we've got here. This one here is a birch tree, and we can tell this from this really distinctive thin branch that extends out, and these really quite thin buds as well that are quite close to the branch. And then this one behind me, this rowan, some people call it a mountain ash, has got much thicker buds. That's one of the ways I'm identifying that. And it also has this very smooth bark. And interestingly on here, I've got these flattened kind of paint-like lichens. These lichens, they've got black marks on them, and we call these ones script lichens because these black marks that are part of this paint lichen look a bit like old-fashioned writing or an old-fashioned script. Lovely to see these different script lichens on this little rowan tree. And nice to see that we've got the next generation of trees that are going to be old, big standards in the Celtic Rainforest, starting out their life here in this little patch of light.